So those of you who are, I guess, old school Noclip viewers at this stage, if we can call almost 6 years old school, may remember that in 2016 we visited id Software in Richardson, Texas to talk to them about what was then their most recent game, Doom 2016. This was our second ever documentary, and thanks to the folks at Bethesda and id, we were able to show off not only a bunch of early prototypes of that game, but the first and only gameplay footage of the cancelled Doom 4 project. Today, as part of our game preservation mission, we're going to showcase those assets in their pure unedited form. We have not added any music, sound effects, or text to these videos, so anything you're about to see is what was created by the studio. If you'd like to learn more about what these games were, we highly recommend you check out our 3-part series on the development of Doom 2016. Okay then, let's first start with the cancelled Doom 4, shall we? So Bethesda and id sent us 2 clips. The first is a sort of a combat encounter with an imp where the player has a shotgun, and the second is demonstrating the melee combat that would have been in the game. These are pretty short, so I'll see you back here in a second. So this next video is technically part of the development of Doom 2016, though keen-eyed viewers will notice that there are many assets here that aren't actually in Doom 2016. That's because these are assets that they pulled over from the cancelled Doom 4 project. What you're about to watch is essentially an animation test to show off what they were hoping to do with the combat system in Doom 2016. And as such, it has sort of early versions of stuff that we then came to know from that game, things like the glory kills and the player's death animation. It's pretty cool. Check it out. So those of you who watch behind the scenes stuff about games on our channel or about movies and stuff will know that oftentimes game studios and movie studios will use stuff like storyboards or animatics, which are essentially animated storyboards, to demonstrate an idea to the wider creative team. That's essentially what you're about to look at right now. It's an animatic for what was going to be the opening level of Doom 2016. And if you remember the opening level, which many of us do, we did a whole section of it in our documentary on Doom back in the day. This is pretty remarkable because they actually stayed very close to what the end game was. Check it out.
Welcome to the UAC. Time to die.
Demonic presence detected. Initiate lockdown. Demonic presence at minimum safe levels. Proceed with caution.
Okay, so this next section is a bit of a mixed bag of tech demos, but they essentially highlight three particular aspects of the game. The first videos demonstrate the gore system and how much it impacts on game feel. The second set concerns the development of the rocket launcher, and the third set contains a bunch of tech demos showing off incremental improvements, things like lighting, shadows, depth of field, and glass distortions. Let's take a look. And that's today's gameplay showcase, or rather asset showcase, I guess. Thanks so much for watching this video and staying till the end. Thanks so much to the massive Doom fan community for being so patient in us getting this sort of stuff out. Sorry it took so long. If you didn't know, our channel is 100% crowdfunded. We do not take money from game studios. We don't run ads on the videos. It's part of our mission. Thanks for watching this, and if you have any requests, if there's any games we've covered over the past almost 6 years that have like assets or B-roll or gameplay that you think we should put out there, and we're kind of making our way through it at the moment, but if a lot of people ask for one of them, we'll definitely push it to the front of the queue. So yeah, spam the comments with any suggestions you have, or if there's any games out there that you'd like us to try and unearth, we can also put our efforts into doing that. Yeah, so let us know in the comments, and until that video, I guess, we'll see you around.